Oh, yay. You know, so, and you still don't know the batch or lot number?
I don't know them. Nope.
That is something that frustrates me personally. Like when people do the drive-up flu shot at a pharmacy, there aren't proper records. If something goes wrong, nobody will ever know about it, and they can never report it.
Right, right, right. Mine was reported to Veyers, and I checked online a couple years ago, and it said that for my treatment to get better, I had 2 injections of vitamin A, and I'm fine, which was complete
not
lie.
Correct.
Yes.
So what have you gone through to, tell me what doctors you went to that actually started to help.
At the end of the week when I was in isolation at the hospital, they dismissed me from the hospital. My doctor and neurologist dismissed me from their care. They said they never needed to see me again. There was nothing else they could do to help me, and they told my parents to take me home, spend my last couple of weeks at home, because there's nothing else they could do. So I went home with that doctor.
Expecting you to die?
Yes, yes. And you can feel it when you're that close. You can feel it that you're dying. There's no question there. So I went home, and a friend of ours was going to the gym one evening. A friend of theirs was leaving, and they got to talking. And the friend was a doctor who had just read a research paper by Mary Megson, and he said, "You know what? Give her vitamin A. You'll see within 3 days if there's any difference, and if there is, I'll see her." So they told my parents, and I took vitamin A the first day, no difference. I had been in my room for 2 months, nothing, no light, sound, anything, and I just stayed there. Occasionally I would come downstairs to, I guess, let my parents know I was still alive. I don't really know. I was downstairs, the TV on, but I wasn't watching. I couldn't stand anything. But they gave me the vitamin A the first day, no change. Second day I felt worse. Third day I came down the stairs. I was like, you know what? I feel better all over. My arms don't hurt as much. I don't feel as infected. My legs feel a lot better. And they just sort of stared at me like, what the heck? Because I hadn't spoken in 2 months, you know. I hadn't gotten out of my room really in 2 months because I'd go down the stairs and be out of breath, you know. So they made an appointment with him, and he started me on her detox and vitamins. I had 3 powders that I put in a juice. One was Ultra Clear Plus, which was a detox. The other one was Permavite, which was to heal the leaky gut. And the third one was whey protein, which was for weight gain because I'd lost 43 pounds in 8 weeks. So I started those, and I was taking a whole slew of vitamins. I had A and B, C, calcium, quercetin, zinc, magnesium, alfalfa. I took ginger to reduce nausea, and I still have that today. And so I was taking all that, and I would take them twice a day. I took them twice a day for about 2 years, and I would very gradually, I was getting better and better and better. And I noticed that if I didn't take a shake, even just if I skipped one, I could already see myself sliding back to where I was. So I knew that I could not by any means stop those, even though they are horrendous. They tasted nasty and they felt nasty. But it felt like sand and had like foam on the top. It was gross. But it worked. And so I took them. 2 years I took them. Then about a year and a half after that, I backed off to 1 a day and then every other day. And now, 9.5 years later, I take them about once every 3 months, 2 or 3 months I take them. And it keeps me pretty good. If I stop taking vitamin A today, my words get jumbled, get screwed up. I start stuttering. They come out in the wrong order. I can't get them out sometimes. I can feel them in me, but I can't get them out.
So it's about suppression of the virus?
I think so. I think so. Initially, I thought I was getting better, but then as soon as I stopped, I could feel everything start to come up again. All the symptoms come up, so I thought, well, maybe it's just covering it up, and so it's not really taking care of the root of it. It's just sort of getting rid of these surface stuff. But now I'm to the point where it has taken care of the root. It's still there a little bit, not nearly as what anywhere near as what it was, but it is still there a little bit. And so it's, if I haven't taken my vitamin A for a couple weeks, my brother, I'll be talking to my brother, and he's like, what the heck is wrong with you? I'm sorry. He's like, I'm not talking to you. Get some vitamin A or something, because my words will just be going everywhere. So as long as I take that, I'm pretty good.
So what did the doctors say the root of the problem is?
My doctor that I have today, I still have, said it was a vaccine, 100%. It was absolutely the vaccine. And from the treatment that I used, I think it's pretty evident. You know, I'm off of wheat and I'm off of dairy. I did heavy metal detox for aluminum, arsenic, lead, and mercury. The vitamins and supplements. I also did the probiotics, and that's, you know, all of that is basically what's, you know, being done to help those who have gotten sick from vaccines, I guess, and that's what worked for me. So.
Yeah, those type of things have helped with my children also. Although it's frustrating because it's like you don't get, people won't acknowledge that the vaccine reaction really happened.
Right.
You know, that type of thing. But at any rate, obviously you've been highly welcome to an autism conference. So why do you think that we would be so interested in hearing from you?
I think in part it's because of the treatment that I used. When I was perfectly fine. You know, I get the vaccine and all of a sudden I'm running parallel to symptoms of autism. I wouldn't say that I had it. Although if I went to Towson, my university, in my chart it said adult onset autism. I didn't know that. I went to them at one point to get a referral to see my doctor, and they opened up my chart and they said, "So you have adult onset autism, how's that working for you?" I'm like, "Thanks." I didn't know I had it, but it's working pretty well, I guess. So in that respect, you know, I guess because of so many symptoms that I had were so similar, I suppose. I do still have getting laundry out of the dryer. Still bothers me to no end to touch that. Working with clay occasionally, if I'm on the wheel, throwing on the wheel, some days I'll go and sit down there and I can't do it because the feeling on my hands I cannot stand. Working with children, you know, when I'm in the art room with clay, after working with it, my hands sometimes feel like they're burning or they're tingling or just gives me like the goosebumps, just how it feels, drives me nuts. So in that respect, I guess, you know, it's also kind of similar to that of, you know, symptoms of autism, I suppose. So maybe that's why, and also because I've used Mary Megson's treatments, you know, and it's had such a success with me following the vaccine. I think that's probably why I've enjoyed coming to these conferences. And also it's, you know, you get to see a lot of other research that's going on and what might help me, you know, now. Because I still have issues, symptoms, side effects.
So you enjoy these conferences for yourself?
I enjoy, yeah, finding new things that I can try, yeah.